Hey Scott, so as promised, I wanted to get this video out to you, bud. So first off, thanks for reaching out to me. Number two is I wanted to address, obviously we talked about a topic that may be able to help the organization. And anytime I do this, I usually do some pre-work when I look at your company, your size, what do you guys do, your value prop, your competition, maybe between, I train Oracle and SAP, and I don't compete with you guys a lot on the specific products of the salespeople I'm training at Oracle or SAP. But at the end of the day, between Paychex and Workday and all the other ones you're competing with, the one thing I look at ADP right now is this. When you pull up your value prop and what you do, the very first thing it says on Wikipedia is HR. You talk to HR organizations. Well, to me, when you look at what's going on in the world right now with COVID-19, this word, human resources. This right here completely, to me, I couldn't get to the phone fast enough to actually make phone calls into prospects going, wait, I'm ADP, human resources. You might be having a challenge right now with payroll and taxes and HR, and oh my gosh, this is like lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So to me, you talked about how, yes, you might have to make 20 phone calls right now just to have 10 conversations or 5 conversations to book 2 appointments because a lot of businesses are being affected. Completely get that, but I believe you have a product and a service that may be more needed now than ever. Why? Because of what's going on in the world. So to me, I know you and I spoke about just that ability to reach out and how it's gotten harder, but I think we need to step up our game, turn up the volume, and turn up our passion a little bit. That doesn't mean to be disingenuous. That's not like, everybody is Johnny Costigan. No, I'm not saying, we don't need to be that person, okay? Because what you don't want to be is we need to know how to approach people, and you can't be disingenuous. You can't come across as opportunistic. You have to focus on serving without selling. If you serve well enough, they will buy. You don't even have to sell. They'll want to buy because you're just focusing on serving and having empathy and compassion. Combine both of these and be a really good listener, and you'll be amazed at the difference in how you would sound over and above Paychex, Workday, what have you. Okay? So when I look at this, folks, I really do back things out into this, is that I believe people buy for 3 reasons. Okay, Scott? And number 1, it's you, the salesperson. Number 2, it's the company, and number 3, it's your product, and it's in that order. Because I've seen a lot of times there's a great product, but if the company hasn't been around or they don't have established trust, people won't buy it. Okay, I can move these around any way I want, but this one right here is always going to stay at top. Because if the product and the company were that great, what do we need you for? Just phone in your order. Okay, this ADP is an Amazon. All right, so at the end of the day, what's kind of funny about this is that when I talk about this and I do the pre-survey, there's a question in the survey. It says, what's the number 1 reason why people buy? And here's the drop-down menu, but I have like 10 items from your solutions, your reputation, your all of it. And 9 out of 10 reps, probably 8 out of 10 reps will click it'll say relationship/salesperson. The next question, I don't even hide it. What's the number 1 reason why you lose business? Do you know what most people click on? Price. And that's what makes me laugh, because I'll look at the survey results and it's kind of like all the sales reps are going, why'd you win? Me. Why'd you lose? It wasn't my fault, darn price. I'm like, no, man, you got to take the good with the bad. Okay, listen, so if you won, chances are you outsold the competition. But if you lost, they outsold you, and you need to take ownership of that. Okay? Because I guarantee you, I'll ask the salespeople, I'll go, have you ever won a deal where you weren't the best price? You maybe didn't even have the best solution, maybe the competition had something else, but you were just the better rep. You built the better connection, better trust, better all of it. And every rep goes, yep, absolutely. I go, how about this? Have you ever lost a deal when you knew you were the best solution? You maybe had the perfect alignment to their needs, and maybe you even had the best price. Did you ever lose? Yes, you got outsold. You got to be able to take ownership of your sales career by saying, when I win, it's usually the team, and yes, you're the driver of the bus, but when you lose, it's you. It's on you. I truly believe that. So at the end of the day, one of the things that we talked about really quick, Scott, was just about how to approach people. And there was this 4-step process. I'm going to make this out really quick. And yes, I'm being transparent. This just came up about 2 weeks ago when I was on a conference call on this, doing this live with 59 sales reps from Google in the UK. And one of the reps said, how do you approach, because I was taking live questions. He said, how do you approach a customer where you don't appear to be opportunistic? And this was about 2 weeks ago, which I think it was really the boom was hitting most of the world. I shouldn't say most of the world, but definitely United States was really ramping up between New York and Louisiana with the Mardi Gras. That was a hot spot. There was a lot of hot spots. LA, right? Well, it was in full force about 2 weeks ago, and it's still out there, right? Well, when I look at that, and then with the UK, what they were going through, they're peaking as well. And one of the reps said, "How do we reach out to people?" I said, "Well, If you reach out with compassion and empathy and just become a good listener, you'll be amazed that a lot of times people want to tell their story. So the first step is step one is that you just want to make it's the customer about their person. So it's a customer or the prospect, make it just about them personally. How are you? How are you dealing with this? The second step is this. If you're just a good listener, at some point in time, this customer or this prospect, okay, it should be P, the prospect or the customer, they're going to say, so how's it going with you? Well, now you have the sales rep. Now comes the sales rep personal. You can now talk about what's going on in your life. Well, it's interesting. Here's what's happening between your kids or the dog or working at home or all of it. I know one of the managers at Google said, he goes, well, I know one thing. I give my schedule to my spouse right now because I know when the key terms are, I really need to see, hey, can you do me a favor and watch the kids because I really need a lockdown for a couple hours. So simple things like that you'll talk about. But then the next step you do, now you go sales rep, business. And what you do, here's the key, talk about what ADP is doing as a company to be able to help the world, to help their customers, to be able to give back, things of that nature. So you got to go, one of the things that ADP is doing, and it's not a feature and benefit pitch. It's hey, our president Carlos has really taken a stand and taken the position of making sure we help our customers through a difficult time by doing blank, blank, blank. And you reference a couple very high level things that the corporation is doing. And then right there at this point, you now kick it back into their court again right here. And now you go from, now you have the prospect to the customer, now it's business. So you go prospect or customer personal, wait for them to ask, so be a good listener. When they ask you how you're doing, you do sales rep personal, and then from here, you then migrate the conversation to sales rep business. Well, here's what our company's doing, and then finally you ask them a question going, so how's it going in your world? What's your organization doing? And that is your transition into then possibly asking some additional questions that align to your products and services. So hope that wasn't too long-winded, but I am a huge believer that, just a quick summary on this, is that it starts with you as the sales rep, the company and the product. This is about, during a difficult time, I think we all agree, our customers are going to start changing their business. They have to. Number two, if you're going to change your business, you're probably going to start changing how you buy, which means we need to change how we sell, which means how do we approach. And right now, if you could do this simple 4-step process, I truly believe in my heart and soul, if you focus on just having empathy and compassion and just listening and not interrupting people, just let them talk, you will be head and shoulders above not just your competition, but any other salesperson who's calling on that account. Good selling, good talking to you, Scott. All the best, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.